just going to read the following from those that have been supporting Twain Morgan. It's not a very nice read, but it gives the most up-to-date information on what happened on this flight last night, and that is... Okay.
It's not very nice.
It's not very nice. It's really not very nice. Okay, so this statement was released early in the hours this morning, that having reported the good news yesterday that Twain Morgan was taken off the deportation flight to Jamaica, we had a call from Twain in the early hours of the morning telling us he is on a bus with others being transported to an unknown airport to be deported, despite having had a High Court injunction. That Barak have had a legal team working through the night, and despite that, Twain was driven to Birmingham Airport, put on the plane, seated between two security guards, handcuffed to them both, ready for takeoff, when he was approached and taken off the plane, and was now being transferred back to Colnbrook Immigration Removal Centre. Later on in the night, they received the news that a young 22-year-old man with PTSD had tried to slit his wrists in his cell while security guards watched on. The emergency services were called by dialing 999, but they had refused to go. This young man was subsequently restrained when he threatened to cut his own throat, and instead of taking him to hospital, he was transported straight to Birmingham Airport to be deported. That despite Barak having worked with Jamaican High Commissioner to raise concerns, he had been granted asylum and returned to detention. The treatment of Twain and this young man alone demonstrates why such charter flights should not be happening. That our thoughts are with the 35 to 40 people that were deported on this flight this morning at 6:30 a.m. and that we will continue to campaign for Twain to stop any threat of deportation, for his release from detention and for British citizenship. So we'll just take a couple of moments to give our thoughts to those that were sent off this morning.
We're here in the middle of Birmingham City Centre, the protest End Deportations. What's going on, Beth? Tell me a little bit about it.
So we formed, End Deportations Birmingham formed as a group after the terrorism charges that were put towards the defendants that had intercepted a plane that was taking off deporting a group of migrants, asylum seekers and refugees last year. Today we are gathered because this morning from Birmingham Airport a similar charter flight, a flight that was put ahead specifically to deport people that have been living here for decades, up to decades, some of whom have families here, some of whom who had committed crimes, but those who are people who have built lives here were deported back to Jamaica despite campaigning and despite we think that this going on in the middle of the night. The hostile environment is real and that it's going on underneath our noses, and basically gathered here to say that it's not to happen on our soil, that some of the people on that flight were living in Birmingham, that Birmingham is a city that is open to people who want to reside here, that one of the individuals who was put on that flight he served in the British Army, he's a Commonwealth citizen. People, the Windrush defendants are people that were invited to come to this country to work for us, and they're people that have built our community for decades, and that this is going on in our local airport with sanction from our local airport is unacceptable and doesn't represent the views of people in Birmingham.